Hello, this is Alexander Cross, Criminal Defense here in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you'd like to learn more about criminal defense, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross & Associates, and feel free to ask questions in the comment section below so that we may respond in the future with more videos. So we received an interesting inquiry here on our YouTube channel. This has to do with somebody who got accused of sexual contact with minors. Let's see here. My wife accuses me of sexually molesting her 15-year-old son and for raping her daughter since she was 11 years old. I have 7 years living with my wife, and her kids have always opposed our relationship. Well, here's the thing. Let's say that, well, first of all, let's talk about the charges. First of all, for molesting a 15-year-old boy, if we're talking about touching a penis, buttocks, whatever, for sexual gratification, this would be a violation of Penal Code Section 288, parentheses C, parentheses 1. It's a felony that carries up to 3 years state prison, plus having to register as a sex offender for life under Penal Code Section 290. Also, regarding sexually assaulting or raping an 11-year-old, this would be a violation of Penal Code Section 269, parentheses A, parentheses 1. Obviously a felony that carries 7 years to life in state prison, plus having to register as a sex offender for life. Now, it is very common that stepfathers are wrongfully accused of having molested their stepchildren, especially not only because there's a relationship there between the mother and you, but also because sometimes they feel resentful and they would like for the father, the natural father, to come back more into their lives. It's a very common thing, unfortunately. However, I will still say that this is going to be a he said, she said, and a he said type situation. It's really frustrating, but you have to exercise your Miranda rights, because there's absolutely nothing that you will say, there's absolutely nothing that you'll be able to say to help your situation. So it's better to just remain silent. Remember, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney. Now, the police will thoroughly investigate and will thoroughly interview that 15-year-old and that 11-year-old separately. They're going to be interviewed, well, now she's 16, but they're going to be interviewed separately, and what they're going to be looking for are consistent statements. Do they have very detailed stories of what happened, and how consistent are their statements? Is there anything that contradicts what the 15-year-old said versus the 16-year-old who was being raped at 11? If there's something that contradicts that, well then of course that's going to be looked at as a red flag, because the DA will not want to file on a case if they think that there is a very high chance that they will not be able to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. Now, if for some horrific reason the DA feels that they do have enough to convince a jury that you committed the offense, well then that's when your attorney is going to have to enter pleas of not guilty, order copies of the police report and all the other evidence. The judge will have to give a new court date to come back and start discussing the matter with the DA's office. If it looks like the DA is having difficulties with the case, that's when your attorney will have to press the DA about potentially dismissing the case. But if the DA is still very much convinced that he can win the trial, well then you're going to have to decide whether or not it makes sense for you to take your case to trial. At trial, that's when they will bring in a jury. They will bring in 12 people from the community. Those 12 people will listen to all the evidence, and then they will decide based on the evidence whether or not you're innocent or if you're guilty. If they find you innocent, that's when they would finally dismiss the charges. But keep in mind that this is an extremely serious allegation, particularly the 269, parentheses A, parentheses 1 of the Penal Code. Raping an 11-year-old girl carries up to life in prison. Regardless, if you'd like to learn more about criminal defense here in the San Francisco Bay Area, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross & Associates, and feel free to ask questions in the comment section below so that we may respond in the future with more videos for you. But if you've been accused of a crime and need representation in court here in the San Francisco Bay Area, call us now for a free consultation at 1-800-862-7677. Once again, 1-800-862-7677. On our next video, we're going to be discussing the case of somebody who got accused of a hit and run while drunk. Criminal lawyer, criminal lawyers. DUI lawyer, DUI lawyers. Criminal attorney, criminal attorneys. DUI attorney, DUI attorneys.